Here we have what I think is the single most ironic story we've ever covered on Secular Talk. And we've covered a lot of ironic stories over the years. An Illinois teacher was fired for stepping on the American flag while teaching a lesson on free speech. Come on. This is like a scene from a comedy movie, except it's real life. We're living in a real-life comedy movie. The guy's name is Jordan Parmenter, and a student complained that he didn't like it. He was put on leave on May 15th. By the way, already wrong, right? Like, the student complained that you stepped on the flag. We're putting you on leave. Why? Why not suspend that kid for saying you don't understand free speech? How about that? How about that? Actually, I wouldn't even agree with that, because that would be violating that kid's free speech. He's allowed to complain, but you're allowed to do it. And the whole point was to say freedom of speech. The whole point was to say, I don't even necessarily agree with what I'm about to do, but I'm going to do it. Oh my God. How did they not understand that? Wait, it gets worse. It was the Martinsville School Board voted 6-0 to fire him. 100% of the people on the school board do not understand what free speech is. And again, the point of it wasn't even to say, hey, I really agree with this stepping on the American flag idea and hating America. And by the way, even if that is what that guy meant, so what? Even in that case, it'd be so what? But he's saying, I'm just demonstrating to show you here that we live in a free country. See, true patriotism is not avoiding stepping on a flag or burning a flag or something like that. True patriotism is understanding that you live in a country where you can do that, and they don't throw you in jail, and they don't fire you, and there's not absurd censorship repercussions. That's what true patriotism is. True patriotism isn't you throw a fucking bumper sticker on your car and you talk about how I love my goddamn troops. That's not true patriotism. True patriotism is understanding the founding principles of the country, like freedom of speech, for example, and freedom of expression and freedom to protest, where you know you have the freedom to do something like that without having to worry about, again, being thrown in jail, being fired from a government job where you're protected from with your speech. God, they fundamentally misunderstand the whole point of America. Because think about it. How much would we all scoff if we had a story like this coming out of any nation that's an enemy to us, or even a nation that we're, like, neutral with? Like China. Hey, a Chinese teacher got fired because they were teaching a lesson about freedom and they stepped on the Chinese flag. We'd be like, oh my God, these idiots fired her, but the whole point she was making is that it's good that we can do this and not get fired. What people need to understand is, oftentimes when you have protests where people burn the American flag, for example, when people say things that are harsh and critical of their country, oftentimes the whole purpose of doing that is to say, I want to make my country better. Do you get that? Dissent is the highest form of patriotism. To say, let's form a more perfect union, okay, and in protest we will burn this flag or rip it or whatever, that's a good thing. Again, that shows you're more patriotic, not less. If you fly your American flag bumper sticker, if you put your American flag bumper sticker on your car, but you're in favor of Guantanamo Bay being open, well, it makes more sense to question that person's patriotism than it does to question the person's patriotism who wants to close Guantanamo, and because they want to close Guantanamo, they are stepping on the flag and they are ripping it.